Hello, everybody. This is AJ. Welcome to Pushback Darkness. We're going to start the stream tonight by letting you know that we only have a few days left until Christmas, but I'll show you the calendar in a second. But before we get started, have you noticed the amount of energy lately in regards to there was this little event, I think it was called an election that happened a little bit ago, and people were all like, it's the end of the world, things are going to fall apart, it's going to be crazy. But ever since somebody won, there's just this, I don't know, it's like this shift. Everything is just seeming to go better. And there's a positivity out there that it's like you can't even explain it. So it's crazy. So hopeful, that's me, hopeful. Let's jump into it tonight. Yep, 22 days left until Christmas. I know you're thinking, how the heck am I going to get it all done in 22 days? Amazon. Yes, Amazon. That'll do it. All right, so let's get this stream rolling. So you may have heard in the news, yep, Joe Biden will not be allowing his son, Hunter Biden, to be acquitted of anything. He's not going to pardon him at all. And this is what Joe said, so let's listen.
I'm extremely proud of my son, Hunter. He has overcome an addiction. He's one of the brightest, most decent men I know. And I am satisfied that I'm not going to do anything. I said I abide by the jury decision, and I will do that, and I will not pardon him.
So that's great. Thanks for letting us know, Joe. But yeah, then we end up finding out a day ago that this happened.
Put the law before a family.
I said I abide by the jury decision, and I will do that, and I will not pardon him.
Letting the world know that he will not wipe away the decision of 12 of his son's peers.
Was asked directly, and he has said he wouldn't pardon his son if he gets convicted.
Let's wait and see what happens if he loses.
Yeah, but I mean.
So there's all this talk. He's not going to pardon him. He's not going to pardon him. But yeah, I know. You guys saw it coming. If anybody could have predicted it, you guys could have predicted it.
His son, if he's convicted.
So I've answered this question before. It was asked of me not too long ago, a couple of weeks ago, and I was very clear, and I said no.
She did.
Okay, we go back to the first question of the briefing. I know you said not a lot's changed since yesterday and that it's a personal matter, but from a presidential perspective, is there any possibility that the president would end up pardoning his son?
No.
Again, you've also said several times that the president would not pardon or commute the sentences for his son, Hunter. I just want to make sure that that is not going to change over the next 6 months. The president's saying he would not.
It's still a no. It's still a no.
It's still a no. It's still a no until it's a yes. And that's the thing we just have to realize with the government. It's always a no until it's not a no. And then when it's, if we need to shift it around, then yeah, there's always a reason for it. So we don't even believe them anymore. There's nothing they say we believe. They don't even need to try. We hear it and we listen and we're just like, okay, that'll be great. So California has decided it is going to use your tax dollars. So if you live in California, congratulations, like myself. I know, I'm sorry. I apologize again and again for that, but I'm trying to change the system from within. One way or the other, we're going to make it happen. So listen to what Senator Padilla says in regards to our tax dollars.
It doesn't have to be a conflict unless that's what Trump wants.
The governor has called a special session that will convene this week to set aside money to battle the Trump administration. Will some of that money also be set aside to protect migrants and undocumented immigrants in California as they seek either legal advice or continued legal financial backing to support their efforts to stay within California and the United States?
Yeah. Again, if the first Trump administration is any indicator, we know that there will continue to be a lot of fear in communities that deserve to know what their rights are and what their rights are not. And so if it's legal assistance, legal advice, legal support.
See, you can't use that as an excuse anymore. You can't say, the first time around fear. There was no fear. People weren't afraid of the Trump administration. If you're here illegally, then maybe you should be concerned. But we're working on trying to figure out ways that you can stay legally. Where you should really be concerned is if you're doing things that are illegal. So that should be our start point. Why is it always that we have to battle against the administration for removing people that are here illegally? For me, I just don't get it. So this guy here, he is going to do a jump. I wanted to know if you guys could let me know in the comments. So say jump, don't jump. If somebody gave you $100, would you jump off this cliff? This is crazy. I don't know what he tossed off first. Oh, that's a long way down. I would not do that. You could not pay me to do that. And Donald Trump decided he wanted to put out some information today. He said Trump asked if Biden's pardon of Hunter also covers the January 6th detainees held by his administration. Well, that's a good question, President Trump. I'm wondering if the waiving of the presidential pardon ends up running towards the people who were on the Capitol for the January 6th issues and have been put away with basically no representation at all. That's a tragic thing that nobody has bothered to really bring up. I hope President Trump gets in there and makes some changes. So we've got a God moment for you. This is really cool. So, when you are successful at an early age, there are times when the enemy comes in and totally throws you throws you into a position where you can't undo the things that you're doing, and only God can undo it. So Jesus has a way of bringing redemptive qualities to our lives. I know I am a living proof of that, but just listen to what this young man has to say and how he became successful at a young age, and it took God to actually show him things that were valuable.
I gained worldwide fame at 20 years old. But I had so much trauma and brokenness on the inside that the world didn't know about. I was seeking after all the things in the world, but I was dying on the inside. Hearing the gospel, how Jesus Christ came down to this world to die for people like me. I'm looking at my life through the lenses of the love of God. And my heart began to transform. And I just wanted to know more about Jesus. God has redeemed me. He has restored me. He's given me a new name.
My name is John, also known as Holy Cabana.
That's awesome. Only God can do a story like that. You may have known somebody in your past, or maybe it was you in your past, where you're like, wow, I am lost, I am hopeless, I'm depressed, I'm sad, and only God can bring freedom and restoration and peace in the midst of a tragedy like that. So that's an awesome story there. So this little boy, I believe might be a little girl. I see little earrings right there. Hard to tell. Probably a little girl. Adorable. So check out this little girl here. She is singing with Mama.
And the angels cry. All creation cries. You were lifted high. Holy forever. And the
Maybe it's a little boy. It says Malcolm on the shirt, so can't tell. All right. So then Joe Rogan was talking about with a psychologist. Psychologists, they have a lot of answers, but the Bible has more answers. The Bible has all the answers. The Bible's the truth. So one of the things that Joe is talking to a psychologist about is depression and how people handle their depression, what they do. So I wanted to read a verse before we jump into what Joe is saying here. So it says that in 1 Peter 5:7, it says, cast your cares on him. And what that means is it means to give all of your worries, your anxieties, your concerns, and everything to God and trust him, for he cares for you. So one of the things that people tend to do is they absorb the things that they're dealing with, and they still push them down and try to keep them inside, and they don't allow God to deal with them for stuff. So listen what the psychologist says, and she's saying what basically everybody who reads the Bible knows, but just want you to hear this.
I never really considered that until your book. Until I heard the title of your book and I read the synopsis of it, I never really considered it. I never considered that thinking about your problems all the time and talking about your problems all the time literally make the problems grow.
That's right. I mean, it's the number one symptom of depression is what they call rumination, this pathological obsessing over your pain.
Yeah.
That's why stuff like exercise, that's one of the reasons, aside from chemical reasons, one of the reasons that doing anything, that running errands is good for your mental health, getting out of your house and accomplishing anything is good for you. But sitting around talking and thinking about your problems, that's a bad habit. And the best cognitive behavioral therapists and others, the dialectical behavioral therapists, the ones who do really well with depression, the first thing they do is try to break that bad pattern. But a lot of therapists just indulge it.
Wow. Yeah, by making you continue to talk about it. So in Matthew 11:28, it says, "Come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." You see, God, who made us, has the plan for us all along to actually take our burdens to cast them on him because he has a better way. So Joe's starting to get it. He's starting to hear these things. So President Trump says in a news release here on X, he says the idea that the BRICS countries are trying to move away from the dollar while we stand and watch is over. So what do you think is going to happen? We are looking at the global economy shifting. Cryptocurrency is popping up as a world currency now. People are starting to get comfortable with things. The BRICS nations are starting to grow, and the amount of countries that are wanting to come into the BRICS economy are beginning to say, you know what, we're going to actually push the US dollar out, and we're not going to take that anymore as a global currency. So I'm curious what the next 5 to 10 years are going to do for the United States economy as well as our United States dollar. But things are definitely shifting. If you've been investing in crypto lately, your money has probably gone crazy. So while I got you here, let's check out CoinMarketCap. All right, so there's your cryptocurrency chart. Bitcoin is a whopping 95,584. It had actually gone up and touched, I think, as high as 98 or 99, which is crazy. And XRP over here at 273. Yep, I've got a few of these coins myself. What do you guys feel? Maybe put down in the comments. Do you like crypto? You have no idea about crypto? Maybe put crypto ? If you're not even sure what the heck it is. Put crypto I like or crypto I don't like. So one way or the other. That way I can get an idea of what you guys are thinking. And then as you're down there, if you could do me a favor, if you can give me a thumbs up, that would be sweet. I'd appreciate it. So let's keep rolling here as we press past our wonderful information. This is a flashback from the past, but hey, very, very relevant. So check this out. Sorry, I can't say the word relevant for some reason. So check this out. This is Hillary Clinton from 2008. Now, she is talking about the border. She's talking about people who've crossed the border and how we should handle them. Now, this is the perfect example of how a hot topic like politics in regards to immigration or border security or anything like that, it's a perfect example that it's all about politics. So watch this.
So I think we got to have tough conditions.
So sorry, it's I can only hear it on one side of the mic. So if you guys are listening on a TV or on a phone, it's probably okay. But sorry about that if you're on headphones.
Tell people to come out of the shadows. If they've committed a crime, deport them. No questions asked. They're gone. If they've been working and are law-abiding, we should say, here are the conditions for you staying. You have to pay a stiff fine because you came here illegally. You have to pay back taxes, and you have to try to learn English, and you have to wait in line.
Okay, so seems like pretty conservative Democratic Party then back in 2008. And then now when the Republicans are stating that, you should take this clip. It's on the Sean Hannity X page, but you should take that clip and send it to your Democrat friends and ask them just nicely. We're not trying to cause fistfights here, but ask them nicely. It's like, isn't this a good policy? Because this is what President Trump wants to do. So I think this is a good starting point. You know, we should come together and talk about the things that we agree upon first, and maybe that would be a good start point. And since 1986, the amount of immunizations for children has gone crazy. I found a graphic. Check this out. So in 1986, we actually had 5, count that, 5 immunizations that a child would have. So on the little side area, it talks over here, it said 1986, before vaccine makers had broad immunity to liability for injuries. So something changed, and that immunity changed. The CDC schedule had 7 routine childhood injections and none for adults or pregnant women. So that's interesting. And the CDC, as of 2025 schedule, has 5 routine injections during pregnancy and over 70, count that, 70 routine injections for children, childhood injections from birth to age 18, and over 130 routine adult injections up to age 79. Wow, just wow. So what is going on there? Is it a money grab? Are we seeing so much more health in our country because of all these things? I had saw something in regards to the rabies shot. So it was a nurse, and she knows about rabies shots, and her son had actually gotten or excuse me, it wasn't rabies, it was tetanus. So there you go, tetanus shot. See, I'm going to get my stories right one way or the other. You're like, get your stories right. I'm working on it. Okay. So the tetanus shot. So the boy had gone and he had scraped himself, he had touched some rusty nail or something like that. And so the nurse went in and the doctor says, well, we need to get him a tetanus shot. Now, tetanus it's pretty bad. If you get tetanus, it could be pretty harmful. But the tetanus shot that they were given it to him for was not to cure the tetanus that he may have got right then. It was like, because she had asked, how long does it take before the tetanus shot actually works? And the doctors were saying it takes 2 weeks. So interesting how they want to give you a tetanus shot if you go in and you've had some sort of like issue with, a nail or something. But yeah, I don't know, figure it out. It's kind of weird. So this dog right here, this dog is, yes, man's best friend, but he obviously found a cat that is also his best friend and is keeping his head warm. They're pals right there. Pals to the end. I know. That's crazy cool. And this one here, when you're just trying to stay dry, because some areas of the country are covered in rain, and you do all you can to stay dry. So this guy's going to put a bag on, hop across the street, jump in the car. This is brilliant. It's brilliant. Oh. Yeah, until somebody drives by and splashes you. Yeah, that's no good. So I saw a funny the other day, so check this one out.
If this turkey tastes half as good as it looks, I think we're all in for a very big treat.
Save the neck for me, Clark.
Okay, Adam.
Oh. AOC's face, I love that one. Are you guys like me when you hear that song now from the Village People? You can only envision President Trump dancing. That's as far as it goes. It's just one of the things. So this one here, FEMA officials have took time out of their day to meet with members of the media to say that they're frustrated with misinformation. So let's hear what this FEMA person has to say.
In addition, FEMA confirmed 65 more travel trailers and manufactured homes were approved and are being built. That wave is expected to have residents living in them by the beginning of 2025, and they say that won't be the end.
Is as many as needed.
We asked FEMA if they face misinformation like this when dealing with previous disasters in other states. They say every disaster is unique.
And whatever the circumstances are and however they unfold, it's going to take on a personality of its own. There's probably a legitimate reason to have distrust.
But instead of trusting the rumor mill, they hope North Carolina residents will trust them.
Please find the information on FEMA.gov. Don't ask your neighbor. We manage disasters, so we have some experience doing this. I bet your neighbor doesn't have that experience.
So I don't know what she was trying to say by that. So I actually went on to the FEMA website. So let's check this out. So one of the interesting things, so this is still FEMA right here. This is, we're looking at North Carolina. So check out this video and then we'll jump on the FEMA website. So this is like a couple days ago in North Carolina. They're still mangled. So obviously they're not going to put trailers around this area, but this is going to take a very long time to fix and a lot of money to fix for these people. So interesting how that's still the situation. So let's follow the dots now. And by the way, Anthony Blinken with the State Department announced that they're going to be pushing $725 million into Ukraine. So interesting that we're throwing money there. But wait a minute, we're not going to judge FEMA yet. Let's jump onto their website. Okay, so FEMA disaster assistance tops 12 million in the first 30 days. So that's as of December 2nd. So let's just say since October, mid-October, 12 million. So 12 million, did I see that right? 12 million, okay, compared to 725 million for Ukraine for things that go boom. So I don't know. It's doesn't seem like whoever's doing the math on that doesn't seem like they're doing a really good job. So I was so sad after that. I had to watch this one, and this one made me happy.
Call my name when I'm gonna be walking down the aisle. No one can call us because we're gonna be busy walking down the aisle.
What if I just yell, "Princess"?
No, there's Dad. There's gonna be a bunch of people sitting, and then they're just gonna hear us. And they're gonna be like, "Why are you doing that?" And they're not gonna think you're a good daddy.
Not gonna think you're a good daddy. Now I wonder if Mom talks like that with a hand. So she's like, "You can't do that, Dad. They won't think you're a good daddy." Well, that was it for tonight. I hope you guys are having a awesome, relaxing time. I know the kids are heading back to school. Probably some of them already headed back. Some are heading back soon. And, the thing about it is we only have a couple more weeks and then they have a break again for Christmas. So how's that for a quick turnaround? And, it's one of those things you can't get enough breaks. If any of you run for president and you're going to enact the 4-day work week, I'm going to vote for you because that's what we need. We just need more time off. All right. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the evening or morning or afternoon whenever you catch this. God bless you. I thank you for staying all the way to the end and just have an awesome one. We'll catch you next time.